Hello, Albsterz. Today we are going to be reacting to Bellular's first impressions of Final Fantasy XIV. Being a WoW veteran coming over to Final Fantasy XIV, it's going to be really interesting to see what his first impressions are of Final Fantasy XIV. And I wanted to react to it because I am a new player, so I want to see what he kind of picks up with in like a Realm Reborn and stuff like that. It's going to be really, really cool. And as always, I will leave a link in the description down below if you want to go watch his first impressions for yourself. So let's see what he has to say. Good, bad. Let's have a little look, shall we? Oh, I'm hoping it's good.
The next thing to talk about is a game. It's another game. It's not World of Warcraft, but it is a game that I think a lot of World of Warcraft players have not been able to ignore, that we kind of can't ignore in a way.
What game?
Yeah. You have seen recently a lot of World of Warcraft players coming over to Final Fantasy XIV due to all the stuff that Blizzard and Activision have been doing with their games, and Classic kind of keeping them afloat, really, with what they're doing. It's really, really interesting.
Might that be, Michael?
It may just be Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. Might just be that.
All right. Well,
we're
getting to this picture. Didn't expect it. Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. I'm going to kick it off with my thoughts and impressions so far.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I played the game for like 4 or 5 hours. I mean, to put it this way, I'm like level 19. I have just left Gridania. That's where my character is. So I did like the little, you know, the initial arc, starting off as an archer.
Yep.
So
he's going to be a bard, mate.
I have a few different thoughts. I guess the first thing I want to talk about is look and feel.
Yeah.
Immediately, Final Fantasy XIV does not feel great if you're used to World of Warcraft because you have acceleration on the character movement, right? So you hit the W key in WoW, your character goes psh, instantly. You do it in Final Fantasy, there's a little curve. There's like a ramp up to your speed.
I could agree with that. There is some like kind of slight delay in the movement, but once you get into it and like feel-wise, he's got to say graphically Final Fantasy XIV is better than WoW, surely.
That, or at least it feels like that.
It's the animation, maybe. Not speed.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. There's
something about it. It just doesn't feel as snappy and reactive as WoW does to me.
It's the thing where you will figure that out very quickly if you go in and start like tapping A&D repeatedly, or if you go to a fight. I'm pretty sure there's literally zero acceleration.
Interesting.
Because I've never felt it.
So just the animation then?
Yeah, it's just the animation.
Okay, I guess I'm sensitive to that. Hotkeys. Yep. Doesn't feel as tight as WoW.
It's not even close.
Yeah. I've not played around with any of the hotkeys.
If they could fix that up,
okay, yeah,
it would be good.
So this is the thing, right? It's because of how the engine works. It's because of it all. I mean, you're completely correct, but it's everything is all of like the engine stuff running underneath is impeccable. Essentially, when you hit a button, it does register. It's just the animation, it going and come down.
Yeah, that's it.
And all that stuff means it can be really awkward, but it is a good experience when you get into fights, and like really tight fights don't feel sloppy.
Yeah.
But actually looking at it feels it.
As I've got more abilities and went through my rotation a few more times, it's feeling better to me now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, once you start getting into like the raids, the alliance raids, like we done T9 synced, and that feels so fluid, and all the stuff that you had to try and pull off for that was incredible. So he's only level 19, so he's only done his first dungeon, I do believe. Oh, there's so much good stuff coming, and I'm only like post a Realm Reborn, and you got so many good stuff to look forward to. I wonder if Bellular is going to bring up any of like the story, and that he's kind of trapped behind having to do the story in order to progress.
I guess the other thing is look. How does the game look? And that is an interesting one because they have one of the worst anti-aliasing problems I have seen. The only AA that's available is FFXIV, and that basically just looks like a Vaseline smear on top of the game. So it looks terrible with FFXIV, with that on. Yep. And without it, I mean, the aliasing is just kind of insane. I think that their shadows, I think it's the color temperature of their shadows, actually, that
If he's just going off of Realm Reborn, isn't he? I've heard that some of the textures and stuff are outdated and stuff like that, but when you get further into like Shadowbringers and the expansions, it really picks up, and that's why people use like G-Shade and stuff like that. But the game still does look graphically amazing.
It's like the shadows are almost uniformly quite gray, and they're in like Yeah, I feel like there should be more of a color cast to their shadows. So there's been like a whole bunch of technical and compositional issues that I've had with the starting content of the game that they do take a little bit to get over. And I think it immediately looks worse than World of Warcraft does because WoW is so stylized.
Yeah.
And what that basically means is in FF, you can.
I couldn't get
think you
into
basically
World of
need to go and
Warcraft's
get
art style.
Reshade or something like that to
Reshade.
get
Oh,
a
there you go,
good
there you go.
AA implementation.
Yeah, I think it's the actual software is Reshade. I think there's Storm Shade and G Shade, which I think are pre-configured ones designed for FF by people. I've not tried them yet because I have a 4K monitor and only a 980 on my PC, so
Wow.
That would fall over,
I want to play at 4K, which means I have graphics settings
So
all the time. But
it's a tricky thing where I actually feel like I really like a lot of their compositions. Like their
There you go. That's
all the
probably
time,
better.
but
That's
it's
better
a
for
tricky
everyone.
thing where I actually feel like I really like a lot of their compositions. Like their levels, they feel really good to run around in.
yeah,
But I think the quality that is there is, at least in the A Realm Reborn stuff that I've seen so far, which is basically just Gridania, it's kind of betrayed by technical engine problems that some of them do persist that I've seen from your gameplay of Shadowbringers content. And that is kind of unfortunate.
Oh. Well, I can't speak on any of the expansions or anything like that. I can literally only speak for Realm Reborn, but I can see where he's coming from with the... I'm guessing he's saying how the map and Gridania is broken up. I think.
Now, that said, once I actually got through all of those initial things where the game didn't feel as snappy as WoW, it didn't look as crisp and stylized as well, I actually started to get into
Really?
things. Oddly enough, that's where
think
it
it is
started
quite
to
snappy, though.
humongously pick up the pace
Yes.
and be interesting to me. So,
Oh no, not until... Oh no. He's still got to go through the annoying ones. Ugh. I think it's quite snappy. Like with the animations and stuff. When you do your casting and stuff like that, it's quite snappy. I
I'm
really,
trying to
really
think
do.
of like what to do first. The 2.5 second GCD.
Yep.
Don't mind. It didn't actually piss me off that much, and I have played on your higher level bard. So having the higher GCD, but after, whatever level your bard was.
yeah, that was only 50 or something.
Yeah,
50,
so it's like
50,
you're
60
level,
something.
you're like level 50 or 60 bard. Yeah, the GCD doesn't feel mega great, but you're actually weaving instant cast things in between that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think with the design of so many of the rotations, like I've been looking at the samurai one, because basically I'm only playing an archer / bard until 50, and then I think I want to go samurai.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. So he's already instantly trying to change it up with the class that he's using and stuff like that. Samurai's going to be like that. He's melee and that's going to be continuously hit. I've not tried the samurai or anything or any tanks like that. I'm literally only a summoner at the moment. But that's really, really cool that he's already wanting to try. He's getting hooked. He's getting hooked. He's getting hooked. If he wants to get up to level 50 and then try out samurai and stuff like that. And then once he gets to level 50, he's already out of a Realm Reborn. So we go into Heavensward with a samurai. That'd be cool.
With it, I feel like it should all work quite well. So on the gameplay front, I'm actually quite happy looking at the top end gameplay that I've seen. It also, like, just that they look like in-depth, interesting rotations.
I really wish we had
Yeah.
time today to let you play like one of the Eden normal fights on my bard because you would have loved it.
Yeah.
You also would have died instantly.
The Eden
I guess
fights
then
are
to move
the
into
hard
experience. What
content,
happens
isn't it?
whenever the anti-aliasing and the shadows and, it feeling a little bit clunky at times.
Yeah.
Once you're through that, you have music that thus far I love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Yep.
love,
The music
and
slaps, boy.
definitely, at least the Gridania stuff.
Yeah.
He ain't heard nothing yet, and neither have I. I've not even scratched the surface of what music is to come, but it's already slapping me to the floor and saying, hey, you listen to this. Some of the
Yeah, so I've loved the
It's-
music.
Yes.
And like just the vibe, the ambience, I think has been really nice.
The
really
ambiance.
successful. It feels cozy, basically.
Gridania specifically is gorgeous. That
Yeah, so I've actually liked my Gridania experience quite a bit. That's been quite good.
That's good to hear.
Narrative then is funny because I'm playing through A Realm Reborn, which everybody says is by far the worst content that this game has.
yeah.
I
And
really enjoyed
think-
it. Really enjoyed it. There was 2 points. There's only 2 points in the whole story where I thought, okay, this I can feel where people say it's a bit of a slog. The annoying ones, and when you first arrive to Corpheus, I hope I pronounced that correctly. I know it's for world building, but that felt the longest, but I know that it's setting up for future stuff. They were the only two places in the Realm Reborn where I was like, okay, I can feel it. I can feel the slog. I wonder what he's going to say.
If this game started off at the quality level that Shadowbringer seems to be, we would have a very different conversation right now, and I think WoW would be in a lot more trouble. Because I think this game likely has a large problem with attracting new players because they have to get through the content of a Realm Reborn, and people might suggest a boost to somebody, but it feels a bit weird to buy a game and then boost through the content. That does feel bizarre.
See, I was always thinking, okay, maybe you could kind of do some like ARR boost start Heavensward, and that might be good, but after playing Shadowbringers, I would say literally if you boost, you are ruining the game for yourself.
Yeah, so that's what I've heard.
It's all world building and
so
character
as
development.
I've played the game. Actually paying attention to the quest text, I could see the little, I was doing these seemingly disparate things helping people out in the forests of Gridania, but they all came together actually really quite satisfyingly.
Yeah.
And they came together in a way where I actually learned more about the world, more about the lore and the world building. And I really liked how I learned more about the big picture of things by doing small scale things in the world that came together to be more than the sum of their parts.
It is really cool. Like the community was saying, when I get later into the game, you're going to be like, oh, that character that was only there for 2 seconds, oh, they might pop back. And stuff like that, and you learn so much. I don't want to mention anything because I don't want to spoil it for anyone that is thinking about playing Final Fantasy XIV. But it's just, the writing is just incredible. And I've not even got to Shadowbringers yet.
That led to a situation with me where I actually didn't mind the whole talk to this NPC, run over there, talk to that NPC, run over there, because I was starting to get engaged and trying to work out like the little mystery that was going on. And there's another thing there where the amount of XP that you get for those talkie quests
ridiculous
is not
amount.
Trivial.
Not even, no.
So you actually feel completely fine to do those talkie quests because the game rewards you appropriately, which makes sense because the narrative that is covered in those quests is important narrative. So you get you get a proper.
Yeah, if you do nothing but the MSQ, you stay up to level with the actual content needed to do it. There was only one time where I had to go away and go level up in order to continue on with the MSQ. But you're meant to be doing some optional dungeons in the background anyway.
Somebody said, most important question, are you a cat girl? Yes, I think I'm a sun cat girl.
Yes,
cat girl.
you're Keeper
I
of the
don't
Sun.
know.
Keeper of the Sun, Mikote.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's... I was thinking of going for like a dragon or something, but I could not make a character on Zodiark, so I had to go with an old, basically meme catgirl character that I created and did not touch at all. But you know what? I'm actually having fun thus far. Some other things then, I guess, that I've liked. The hunting log system that kind of promotes. Basically, you go in. Well, there's like 5 levels of the hunting log. Each one has got. Basically, it's just kill 4 of this mob. We will give you a little bonus of XP.
It was a nice little calm thing to do if you don't want to do the MSQ or something.
Chunk of XP. Yep. And all it basically means is when you're running through, you're like, oh, that mob there, I need that for my hunting log, kill it, done. And it's just like, that's something you could transplant into WoW and it would actually be quite cool and fun.
Yeah, it's just something nice to do.
It's not a big thing. It's just that it adds you, it's just like a little thing to be like, oh yeah, it's a nice little thing I can do as I level.
Also, that's in a Realm Reborn thing that like that goes away at 50. Like it doesn't go on past 50. It's purely for like 2.x or whatever. And then you change it with more specific. There are big monsters out in the world that spawn every couple of days.
The S ranks and stuff like that. Yeah, I've run into a fair few of these, and I need to do some of these hunts and stuff like that, and like, because they seem really, really cool. But you need like groups of people.
With a group of people.
That's cooler for
which
like
is very different.
The hitting end game though.
It's extremely different, and it replaces it. But the point is, it's still there, so you can still do it, and it does. Honestly, I honestly think a lot of the 2.0 world, I actually learned the names of like very specific places just because I've done the hunting log on so many different like classes now. So I have every job at least 30.
And then what I like is that his mate has actually played and got up to Shadowbringers as well. And Bellular is like new. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Is new to the game. So he's like, okay, just get through this. You got this to come. You got this to look forward to. You got that as well. I feel that that always helps. If you have a mate or just someone that's like, yeah. You've only got to get over this little bit. And then yes, you're into the golden good stuff.
And then only one about 80. But it's just, I've done all of the early hunting log stuff. So I'm just going, oh, there we go. Like, I know, like you say, words like, well, I'm trying, now that I can't think of an example.
He's been put on the spot.
But I'm just like, oh yeah, I have a rough idea where that is. I have a rough idea where that is. I can click the map, click the teleport, go there.
I guess actually that's another thing. Teleport. This is a game you just teleport over as long as you unlock the Aether or whatever shard in a zone, you click on it, you pay some gil, you teleport there.
Yeah.
It's so handy. It doesn't destroy the world or the story or anything like that. It works in this game. It works in Guild Wars 2. So that's something worth thinking about. But there is a cheaper Chocobo taxi system you can use as well.
Yeah,
so that was
Stuart. Good old Stuart.
Fates. Fates are basically just like little zone events.
Yeah, little world events, mini world events.
There were zone events
like
while I was leveling up in A Realm Reborn content. That is above Shadowlands leveling content.
Yeah.
What?
Like, why?
Oh, really?
Is that not there?
Really?
Yeah, it's just.
So that's something that WoW could learn from Final Fantasy,
and it keeps going. And because you can play every job on a character, people will just go, oh yeah, I've got rogue with like level 2. I might as well play a little bit.
Another thing too, that I can play different jobs on my same character. That's great because like I'm doing this character. It is an archer. It will turn into a bard. I'm going to hit level 50, unlock samurai, probably go over to that. Yep. Great. That's really cool. I really like
nice.
that. Yep. So there's that. There's the fates.
And it just feels so smooth, and you can stay connected with that character for a long period of time instead of having to create like 30 different characters to then level up a different job. Oh, and that was it. Oh, that felt like that was more. Oh, that was a really, really good insight into Bellular's first impressions. It seems like he really is enjoying Final Fantasy XIV. The graphical stuff, I do believe, ends up going further into the game. If someone could let me know in the comments, I do believe it's just that A Realm Reborn come out back in 2012 now? I think it's 2012. So it's a little bit outdated, but if you go all the way to Shadowbringers, I'm guessing the shadows and stuff will be all gone. But it seems like he's having good fun, and I'd love to hear his progress within the future. See if he does get any further or he does end up dropping it. But this is where I'm going to leave this video here. If you did enjoy it, then leave a like and a comment down below. Boom, 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 boom. So guys, thanks all around. I'll catch you in my next video. Bye, 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 bye.